you hear David Fizdale talking. I mean, these are the days with a young team like this that you have to go through. Did you ever have this kind of experience where you had a young team goes in against a veteran team, you're just going to get overwhelmed, and you can relate to how they're feeling, how you can see that collective emotion just drop? Can you relate to this?
Absolutely. Early on, when I came from UConn to the WNBA, immediately we were 0-13, and I just came off a 39-0 type of year. And so around me, I could see that some players were okay with that, and I wasn't okay with it. And I remember immediately Coach Bill Laimbeer came on board, and he was like, we have to change the culture, we have to change our habits, just like Fizdale was saying, and then we have to buy in defensively. Next year, we went from worst to first, won the championship. So, you know, it takes you buying into the coach's system. It takes you buying into getting rid of those bad habits. And this is a young team that's a coach committed and a staff committed to helping them do that.
But it also takes a player like yourself who had success, who sees failure and saying, no, this is not something you get used to.
Yes. You can't have players getting used to bad habits or getting used to losing. That cannot be okay. If you start seeing that, like Fizdale was hitting it real quick to get those timeouts, you can tell when the players start and in their mind are thinking like, oh, here it comes, waves at you, surrender. You can never surrender. You have to just keep fighting your way and learning through it, and this is what this team is doing right now.
Well, when it comes to learning, you know, we can look at this box score, we can give you stats, but you know what? This is not worth it.
Sometimes you just got to.
School is in session. Professor Swin Cash now is going to teach what hasn't worked out, offense and defense. First, the defense. Yeah,
let's get to the defensive part of it, because right now you're going to see, okay, everyone is matched up with their man. We have Frank right here on shoulder at the top of the key. Whenever the pick and roll comes over here, you're always taught in basketball, you have to see man, see ball, and then be help side. Well, the problem is that Frank was doing his job. He has shoulder that's going to come over the top. Your guy Cantor was right there. He was on the ball, trying to do, basically shadowing the ball, trying to double team, but you didn't have that white line defense that needs to be right here to have that weak side. You're going to see Adams roll down. It's going to be so easy at the rim, and that's one of the problems the Knicks had early on. They weren't in tune. They weren't on a string. As you see him coming down right here, we're fighting over the top on this weak side right here. There's no one defending at the basket, and immediately you're going to get a layup by Adams.
You're seeing a commitment from Cantor, but then everybody running at the ball. And as Steve Valiquette would say, the Royal Road was wide open right down the middle.
And that's when you're not talking on defense. That's not when you're not communicating. And that's why you saw Cantor kind of turn around looking like, hey, guys, why don't you have my back? Because when the ball's on one side of the floor, you can't be worried about a man coming off a screen on the opposite side. You have to lock into where the ball is and defend. And that comes down to just having that cohesiveness on the defensive end, which we didn't see a lot of today.
Yeah, it takes also experience together as a group. All right, on the offensive side of things, you like ball movement, but you want to have it with purpose, as we'll watch on this possession.
Yeah, and then offensively here, we're going to see the ball's going to be moving a lot. As you can see, players are moving, trying to get into something, but immediately freeze it right here. All right? We have the floor wide. We got players everywhere that the coach wants you. You got Robinson driving to the rim. All right, we got 4 out, 1 in. Immediately, you're going to see Trier drive here, but he has nowhere to go. They cut you off, and it goes back to what are the bad habits. Let's roll the tape with the Knicks. Sometimes whenever you get stopped, there's a little resistance. There's no movement. Everyone's on the outside looking for the shot. You got to cut to the basket. So he finds Dotson, but then he runs back into him again, and Trier's like, what are you doing? You know what? It's a sign
Why'd you give it back to me?
A sign of a young team that's still trying to figure out. You have to learn how to move without the basketball. And the funny part is they still got ball movement and got the shot that you want on the other side. But they have to figure out how to make it easier on themselves.
A little bit of pressure there on that shot. There was 1 second on the shot clock. But you're right. They ended up still getting a good shot. But it just shows you there's effort there.
Yeah.
But what they have to figure out is making that ball movement with purpose.